Before I get into the podcast, I want to update you on the Ghana vlogs. Now, this was supposed to be, and it is still a part of the Ghana vlogs, but as I said in the first podcast, that it wasn't going how I wanted it to go. So every time I planned how to do the sit down video, because it was supposed to be a sit down video with me on the camera talking about why I moved to Ghana and the spiritual events that led up to it, but it just kept not working out. And I was like, you know what? I know what the universe is doing. It wants me to do it its way. So I sat down and I said, let me just talk on my recorder and see what comes out my mouth. And it ended up being like a podcast, or it is a podcast. So it ended up being, instead of just a sit down video, just one or two me talking like this, to give you the reasons why I left America to go to Ghana. It ended up being like this. And it just turned out to be more, which is good. It's like the gift that keeps on giving. So that's the update on the Ghana vlogs. It was supposed to be a part of it. Okay, so just take it for what it is. And I want to thank the person that, left me a lovely comment the other day. It was really sweet. Yeah, she was saying very uplifting things. I get comments, yeah, but this was uplifting and made me feel, when you're doing this kind of stuff, and you're kind of vulnerable and you're putting yourself out there and you're telling your story, and it can be challenging, but she encouraged me by telling me that, she resonated with it and to keep it up, basically. So I'm really grateful for that. So let's get into would it be chapter 3 if I kind of left you with a teaser last time, right? So let's just continue. So I talked about college, and I didn't go into depth about every spiritual thing that happened to me. I summed it up to attacks. I summed it up to spiritual attacks. I summed it up to people feeling like you're just you against the world, right? Because I see your light, and darkness is attracted to your light. Okay, so they're gonna come for you. Okay. What else did I talk about? My dreams, right? And in the beginning, like I told you how the dreams were going, I was like, I thought it was all normal. And then the dreams. So what happened was, one more thing I wanted to say is that things get taken out of your life quickly, and in such a big way. Like, it's dramatic. Some people don't go through this, but spiritually chosen people or gifted people, however you want to call us or yourself, like relationships, right? It's like, I just started dating this person and it's already falling apart. Like, I can't explain it. You might say that's me, but I'm not spiritually, I don't have a calling. That's everybody. Like, no. I'm telling you, it's quick. There's no room for, I'm going to prolong this because I feel attached. People do that for like 5 years, right? It cannot happen, is my point. You see, there's no room for that to happen, right? Of course, relationships fall apart. Anyone's relationship can fall apart, right? I'm talking about you're not even allowed to stay the 5 years that some people do and stick it through. But other things just get taken quickly. That is not for you, okay? It's not for you, and it doesn't serve you any good purpose. There's no good purpose for it in your life, okay? Anything, not just relationships, right? And friendships too, right? Not just, romantic relationships. Anything. Family, that stuff gets removed because you don't have time for that. You have a calling. You came here with a mission and you have to fulfill it. So, but you don't know that yet. It's not you came here and you forgot the plan. Your job is to remember and do good by the plan. Okay. And so in the beginning, if you don't know, it's going to be like, what's wrong with me? Like, what's going on? Why does everything happen to me? That why me moment. Why me? Let me know if you relate to this, guys. But yeah, that's what happens. Things get taken quickly from you, but it's good that if you don't know, because maybe you're still going through this. I don't know what part of your journey you're on listening to this, but if you're at the part where you're like, why me? Why does everything happen to me and everything bad? Then yeah, it's really important to know it's because they're taking the stuff that doesn't belong to you or serve you out of your life. And it's a good thing. It just hurts because you want what you want and you think you know what's best for you, and then you realize when it is over, oh my goodness, I dodged a bullet, with anything. And like I said, it sounds like it's just relationships, but it's with anything, okay? Being scammed, like you going for something and you're gonna go maybe downtown, let's say, and you're gonna go for some kind of deal. The train is delayed. I'm from New York, so the train is delayed, or this is delayed, or you're being stopped here. Someone got sick there, and you're like trying to, you know what I mean? There's so many distractions, and you're late, and you missed this deal with this person, and the person, it just didn't work out for that day. And you cancel whatever, and you just can't seem to reschedule. Yeah. You dodged a bullet, okay? You're about to be scammed. You know what I'm trying to say? Anything, all right? I want to make it clear because sometimes I'm speaking my life, right? But I also want to make things clear. So I'll add examples a ton of times because when I'm looking for certain things online, or when I was looking for certain things online, I'm like, why isn't anybody talking about this? I need to know this. This is what I want to know. Even though you can give your own answers, your higher consciousness, your higher self, right? But you don't know that at the time. You're waking up. You need some assistance, right? So when you're looking and searching and you don't find it, it becomes frustrating, and you're like, then you really feel alone, right? So I just want to try to give examples as best as I could. Okay. Let's move forward. So I moved out of my mom's apartment. I went to college twice, so I had to stay there. I went again for massage therapy, as I told you before. And my career I love being a massage therapist. It was so fulfilling. But I left now that I have this great job, or jobs, because I'm a hard worker. I had a few jobs. So I left and I got my own apartment, not too far away. Walking distance to New Yorkers, because on an average it was about 20-minute walk. And for us, that's nothing. It's a piece of cake. So, and then of course, public transportation or you're driving, it's very close, like 5 minutes. So, I would go there all the time, see the family, So anyway, I'm a family person. I think a lot of light workers love to, even if you didn't have your family, because we all go through tragic things as light workers. That's another thing I wanna, or as if you have a spiritual calling. Sorry, I'm going to slow it down. I say this every podcast. I talk so fast. It's my nature. All right, forgive me. All right, so, but even if you didn't really have family, you still long for it because that's just who you are. You're very family oriented. But even though I want to add this too, take notes. We love being alone at the same time. We love our alone time. Most of us, when I'm talking, it's for majority, okay? Everybody's not going to be the same, but the majority you'll find that it's this, similar. So I really really, really, really love my alone time, especially as I got older. I love my alone time. And people were like, how you lived alone for so long? Because I lived alone for a long time, like 10, 12 years. So it was just, it was bliss. That's what I like, so people who can't understand that is because, they don't know how to put themselves in other people's shoes. They don't know how to empathize or anything like that. So it's hard for them to comprehend. So they tell you, no, you're lying a lot of times. And I'm like, I'm not lying. A lot of people like to say, you're lying. There's no way you don't get lonely. I don't get lonely. I don't. Because I like to study certain things. So I keep myself busy. It's not on purpose, I keep myself busy because this is what I like to do. I like to study certain things. I started to realize I like quantum physics, I started looking into that and on my own, just delving deep into certain things. Okay. Let me know if you relate, if you start to, like, when your spiritual journey started, did you start to like certain things you never thought you would like me? Quantum physics? Yeah, I love quantum physics. I am all over the place with this because I have all these thoughts popping up in my head and I don't want them to escape. There's just no way I'm going to let them escape because I won't remember. It might not come up next time. So just bear with me. This is like all relatable things I'm trying to relate to you, okay? So I moved out, right? And just when I thought it couldn't get any crazy with the spiritual activities, they just, should I say they got crazier, or should I say, yeah, they evolved a bit. I want to say maybe they changed into something else, but it was still similar. But either way, it's crazy. So in my place, I would say I had a portal. I'm confident that that was a portal, right? So my window next to my bed, I don't know what, like I said, I don't know what stages you are, all of you are in. Like, I don't know what stage you're in your journey, but so when I say portals and all these things, maybe Google it, look into it, maybe to open your mind to something new and, you want to explore that. But I want to say, because I know people are probably curious as to how others, get their information from the spirit realm, right? So I would say for me, it came in different ways, and I'm sure and I know other light workers, it comes in for them in different ways. I'm not sure if you hear the baby in the background. Oh boy, it's so funny. I'm far away and I can hear him. Okay, so for me, it will come in different ways. So first of all, in dreams, so you get messages in your dreams, and like I always ask, like, let me know, tell me, is this something that happens with you? Are you a dreamer? Not every light worker is a dreamer, right? But I'm a dreamer. So mine will come in dreams. But for those of you who dream, let me know, you can decipher like which dream is real. All right. I said this before, like, I believe dreams are real, right? So you're going through different dimensions, you're astral projecting, but we just don't know how we don't know what's what. Okay. We don't realize that we're either astral projecting or we're going into the future to learn something, or we're literally, you know what I mean? We're being taught certain things or shown certain things. So some dreams are prophetic, and you know what I mean? So they're different forms. But when I wake up, there are different tells for different people. The way I wake up is a tell. Like, I wake up shivering, and it's like I'm freezing and I'm shaking and I'm sweating. It's like a whole thing. And I just know it was real, or I just know I just saw the future, and I don't really like the word pray because I learned that words have spells, but I'll say it for the sake of the podcast from here on, okay? I'll wake up and I'll pray on it or something, so it doesn't happen. And sometimes it has already taken place, because if it's someone else and I'm dreaming that they're in the hospital, they are actually in the hospital, and I'll look at my phone after I've prayed and I'll see a message like, oh, this person in the hospital, send some love or send some, you know what I mean? Pray for us. I'm like, oh my gosh. I just did because I saw it coming, but I didn't know sometimes it's already taking place and it wants to, like, you to intervene in the moment. And sometimes they want you to intervene before it happens. Okay, so that's one of my tells for the dreams. Other things, I'm clairaudient, so I'll hear voices as well. So clairvoyant and clairaudient, but I hear a lot of voices more than anything else. So it's that in between sleep where you're not dreaming. You're not dreaming. You are awake, and you are. A lot of times I'm about to wake up. That's when it happens. Or sometimes I am sleeping, but I get waken up by the voice. So that's how you know you're not dreaming. So it happens in different ways for me with the clairaudience. Like, those are the ways it happens, right? So the voice will say something. They're not long-winded. It's very short messages. So that's one of the things for me. All right. I'm trying to tell you all of the gifts, but it's not easy. I'm trying to remember. Yeah. So I was talking about the portal. The portal is that thing when you feel like you're in between sleep, like I was saying, but that's clairaudience I was talking about earlier. But now I'm talking about seeing things coming out of that portal, okay? And just you being in your knowing, because only you know what's real. You can tell. And then oftentimes if you tell somebody else, they're like, no, it's just in your head, or it's just in your head, or you're dreaming or something like that. But you're like, no, I felt that, like, that was real. It was real. Okay, don't let anybody tell you. Your intuition is the most strongest thing ever. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care. All right. So just know that, your intuition is on point, and yes, okay, it happened and you know it. So things will come out of there all the time, and it's always scary. So that portal, I don't know who tapped into that portal, but it was always not pleasant things coming out of that portal. I'll tell you what. But that's when I was still in Christianity, right? So like I said, I'm not trying to offend anybody. But when I left Christianity, a lot of those attacks and all those things, it really died down so much. So much. And I just didn't like when people would say, oh, it's because you're getting closer to Jesus that, these things are happening. And I used to say, okay, I hear you. And they made sense in a way. But then when you sit back and think about it, it didn't make sense. It just sounded like it did, but it didn't make sense. Like, the attacks it was ridiculous. And it happened after I prayed and all these things. It's just like, but it wasn't right for me, but it's okay. I'm not going to go into that. Like I said, I don't want to offend anybody. So when I left, those things stopped, and I didn't feel like I was exposed. Like, I didn't leave Christianity and say, oh, I'm more exposed now. That's why I'm not being attacked, so because the devil is not interested in me or my light because of this and this and that. But what really happened was, yeah, it died down. It didn't completely go away. There were certain things that will come attack, because remember, you still have light. No matter if you're a Muslim or Christian, that stuff it doesn't define you it does not. Spiritually, it does not define you. You still were born with a calling. You have this gift. So you are the light, no matter what you choose to believe in, right? No matter what religion or anything, you still are the light, okay? And you still have that light in you. So they still are attracted. So once in a while they'll come through. But let me tell you, you are so protected because you came here on a mission. So your team is amazing. Your spiritual team behind the scenes are amazing. Because have you ever dreamt that you were someone in your life is doing something to you, right? And you wake up going, nah, That's real. Someone is trying to harm me. That person already didn't like me. I know that person's trying to harm me. That was no just dream, like, that was a warning. All right. But then you realize nothing's ever really happened to you. It's because you are so protected. It was trying to show you a warning, maybe say some words towards that, like a prayer or whatever you want to call it. I say talk to the universe, right? Or ancestors. I have those terms for myself. Or I'll speak against it myself, because you are the universe, you are power, you are source, right? So I'll talk to that and say, no, I speak against it, I should say. But you are highly protected. And, so when I said the spirits visit me, I told you one example. Another one is, after some time, I realized, so I'm sleeping, right? Because a lot of this happens when you're sleeping, because those are when the veil is the most thinnest. All right. So one time I had a dream that this family wanted me to cross them over. And my mom, by the way, I have so many things to say. I'm just jumping. She also has a gift. Okay, I'll just say that. So a lot of times, especially when I moved out, she was in my dream every night, right? And we were fighting, which I later learned that is called collapsing timelines, okay? I'll get into that later. But we were always fighting in our dreams. The enemy, or we're seeing wars, and I'm sure you relate to this. We're seeing wars happen, and even zombie apocalypse. I didn't watch any zombie movies to be dreaming about it, but it was like all the time, every night. And it was very unpleasant, because it didn't feel like, oh, I just had a war dream. When I woke up, like I told you, cold sweats, like, my God, is something coming? Like, you can feel it. And to let you know that it's real, what you're going through, the whole point of this podcast is to let you know you're not alone. All right, it's not about me just talking, and they're like, oh, I'm so special, No, it's to let you know you're not alone, and you are special. All right. To let you know this is real, my mom would call me, or I would call her, and we were just talking. And then I like to say my dreams to her. I'm like, I dreamt that this, and that. And she said, what? Me too. Every single time, guys, every single time she would say me too. Or vice versa. She'll tell me hers. I'm like, oh my gosh. So we were together. This is real. Okay. And I want to get to the part, because this is getting long. I usually don't go, do I go this long? I don't want to go past 20 minutes. It's just, I'm going to have to go a little bit past the 20, but we're going to get into some stuff here. But let's go right into the people wanting me to cross them over, okay? So like I was saying earlier, this family came to me and they were asking me and my mom to cross them over. They were from like the 1920s or something like that. I don't know. It looked like that, one of those time frames. And I saw where they lived. I saw everything. But you, like I said, what's real. You know, your intuition tells you. So I felt it was real. But like, let me tell you, when you astral project or anything you're doing like that, or anything you're doing spiritually, it takes a toll on you. Do you wake up feeling very exhausted, guys, when you're going through all this? It's because you really are working. Your spirit is doing things. So when they asked me, my mom was like, tomorrow, I'm really tired, So they didn't like that. They must have been tormented in this loop that they were in. I'm telling you, some spirits can be in loops, okay? They were in a loop and they must have been tormented, but it's still not okay for them to attack you. It's just not okay. So the older daughter, she must have been about 18, something like that. She jumped on me. And let me tell you, when I woke up, she was still on me, guys. So this is how you know it's real. Like, I don't know how much more clear I can get. Even if she wasn't still on me, I want to emphasize that so much, because people will make you feel like you're crazy, and you are not crazy. I just want to really point that out. I don't want you going through any more of this self-doubt, and all these things. No more. It's time for that to stop. Rise up into your power. You are not crazy. All right? But she was on me. She was still on me. And I was trying so hard to get her. I was like literally touching, because she was tugging on my clothes, my shirt. And I was trying to get her off. And then I said, you have no right to attack me. Get off of me. You have no right. And she got off of me. She stopped. All right? So I want to leave you with that. Someone else came over. Like, I have other stories, but I'll give you one more. This one woman came to me, and this time it wasn't like a dream form. It was like, okay, it wasn't like I can see what's around her. She literally was just a body while I was sleeping, but in between sleep this time. And I can see her, and she said, please help me to cross over, please. And she told me her name, and I don't remember it now. And so I was like, I was still new. I still didn't know how to really do it. And so I said, go into the light, because I was waking up and I saw her fading. So I said, oh my gosh, no, go into the light, go into the light. And she was like fading away, her hand outstretched, was stretched out to me. And I was like, go, it's okay, it's okay. Because I didn't know what else to say. And let me tell you, the first time when the family attacked me, this is how you know the universe, this is all real. The universe sent me a video. It will send you things in forms like, of a video that I haven't come across anybody crossing anybody over. Come on, I haven't. It's not like something that will pop up on YouTube like that if you're not looking for it. It's not recommended to you. Why did I go on my computer and YouTube recommended this video, but she didn't put in her video that she was crossing anyone over. I just got curious and clicked on her video because her title was like, oh, a cool title. It didn't have that at all in it. But when I'm watching the video, that's all it's about. She was like telling her story and how someone came to her and she had to cross them over. Hers was a little bit different. Hers is more physical because she saw the spirit, and then it would attack her, and then it took her in her dreams after. Like, she had stages. And so she was like, that's how I learned to say go into the light, because I didn't have much time with her. So that's why I was yelling it like that. But I have other dreams and other things about people wanting me to cross them over. But I really have to end this here. It's very long, and I hope you made it this far. I really hope this is helpful. I really want to help a lot of people because there are things that were missing when I was searching back then. And it's really useful to have these videos or any kind of tool that will help you, even apps, whatever. But I'll leave you with this. Step into your power. Know that you're not crazy. Know who you are. And yeah, until next time, guys, just so much love and light to you, okay?